Mesdames, Messieurs, bonsoir. Voici peut-être le type de transport de l'avenir. L'opération est lancée à Fribourg, entre autres. Une application sur le téléphone mobile calcule automatiquement le prix du trajet. Électronique mobile change notre quotidien. Regardez cette image pour mesurer le chemin parcouru. C'était l'automate à billets CFF de grand-papa. Il y avait encore une touche pour chaque destination. C'était en 1990. On est passé au billet sur téléphone portable. Et maintenant, le nouveau bouleversement, le prix du trajet est chiffré automatiquement en fonction du trajet effectué. La technique est mise à l'épreuve dans les cantons de Fribourg, de Lucerne et des Grisons.
Adieu, automates et autres billets par SMS. Dans les cantons de Fribourg, Lucerne et des Grisons, le futur de la mobilité tient en 7 lettres, FAIRTIQ. Une application smartphone qui détecte votre position et calcule automatiquement le coût du trajet à l'aide d'un simple glissement de pouce. Objectif des transports publics, simplifier la vie de l'usager qui n'a plus besoin de décoder les grilles tarifaires, mais aussi réduire les coûts. L'application a coûté 1 million, bien moins cher que l'entretien du parc d'automates, qui devrait beaucoup se réduire.
Ça va nous permettre de simplifier notre système de distribution, c'est très important. Gagner de nouveaux clients, plus le système est simple, plus les gens ont tendance à l'utiliser. On a vu avec d'autres développements que nous avons faits, nous avons effectivement généré plus de trafic.
D'un point de vue technique, l'application est en effet plutôt simple à prendre en main et assez fiable. Sur la dizaine de fois où nous l'avons testée, elle nous a systématiquement proposé le billet le moins cher.
L'application vous avertit que vous n'êtes plus dans un bus. Au bout d'un moment, elle vous donne un avertissement.
L'application permet aussi un nouveau type de tarif, le paiement par minute ou kilomètre de bus parcouru. Les transports publics fribourgeois veulent l'introduire à moyen terme.
Voilà, il y a exactement 10 ans. Il y a exactement 10 ans, jour pour jour, on a fait la une du journal 19h30, donc du journal principal de la télévision suisse romande, ensemble pour la première fois. Wir haben das erste Mal Schlagzeilen gemacht, gemeinsam. Exakt 10 Jahre auf den Tag genau. Ist das her? Exactly 10 years ago, we had this wonderful headlines on our very first day. Welcome, great to have you all here. Now, what did we actually have with those big headlines? Well, we had an app, yeah, and fortunately we did have 3 partner regions separate from each other. One in Fribourg, Frimobile with our partner TPF, then in the center of Switzerland, Passepartout, and the region of Lucerne with our partner VBL, and then Engadin Mobile with our partner Rhaetian Railway, so RHB. At the time. And well, this was how it started. And from the very beginning, it was our partners in the front line that had contributed a lot to developing what we do, but also to presenting what we do. Here we have a picture of the press conference, probably to the minute, about 10 years ago, by the way, with the Norbert Schmatzmann, who is here, the then CEO of VBL, Vincent Ducrot, the then CEO of TPF, who can unfortunately, even though initially he had planned to come, he cannot join us today, and then the head of marketing of RHB and the spokesperson of TPF. Made some more headlines the same day and the day after. Behind the scenes, there was the 6 of us and a couple of external developers at the time that tried to stay behind the scenes and get it all working. And these were the regions we had covered on day 1. So separate regions, but already one brand, because together with our partners, we had the idea of spreading that further. I'm not even sure whether we thought internationally at the time, but at least nationally we did. And this was interesting because that was end of April, and then there was this fear of missing out. That was a cool effect because one tariff community after the other came in. I don't think fear of missing out was an expression I knew at the time, but it certainly already played. That led then to us being able to cover the full country by the beginning of 2018. Here we go. And also our thoughts started to go slightly beyond Switzerland. And as you can see here, there is this little spot here, which is Vorarlberg, which was our very first foreign full deployment already in 2018. Now, today, this is where we are present in 13 countries, from small, tiny pilots to sort of majority channel situations such as Denmark. Now, this is the geography. Of course, this also led to user growth, because that's what actually counts in the end. If you have the whole world but no one uses you, doesn't help much, does it? So this is the number of trips per day that we processed across the years. We didn't put the number for 2026, but actually it's around 400,000 a day that travel with our solutions. Fun fact, 2016, we just reached the 100,000, which we've probably done since the first of you arrived this morning. So that's the scale at which it has grown, luckily. Now, growth in geography, growth in number of users. Obviously, the team had to grow a little bit as well. So this is how our team looks today. We're about 150 people from sales to product definition or ownership to tech, but also everything else that is needed, projects that need to be managed, HR, finances, legal, compliance, whatnot, because that's everything we need to make everything happen. I'm very grateful for all these wonderful colleagues. They make me happier, and they make me sometimes younger, sometimes older, actually, as well. But let's let that aside. Equally importantly, of course, is that you did what you did. That's our number of partners. It's about 75. Saved you from counting. From the tiny little operator to large-scale organizations that we serve today and that we collaborate with every day. Now, obviously, things hadn't started on the 28th of April 2016. That's when we launched, right? So when did it really start? Now, some could argue it was as early as 1898 that our story started. For the non-Swiss, that was when the Generalabo, so the first type of ticket that allowed trips across all railway companies in Switzerland, was created for the very first time. This was the earliest picture that I found, so 1961. A monthly pass, it existed in monthly versions and in yearly versions, but that's when this GA started. That's going to be with us for a while. Interestingly, this Generalabo had a niche existence for a long time. It only sort of started to sort of grow in the 1980s, when we had the Waldsterben or acid rain topic that boosted public transport in general. We had the famous 100 Swiss franc half fare card that boosted public transport, and from then on it went up to 500,000 Generalabos sold in before COVID, right? It was beyond 500,000. Now, was that the start of the FAIRTIQ story? Yes, it's pushing it, give you that. What it certainly pushed is this desire for the GEA convenience for everyone. So also for the ones that would not use it every day and travel with public transport every day. So that was definitely something that pushed this project. Who's seen that picture before? Yeah, it's surprisingly little. So what this is a picture of the smart cards that were used in a trial that happened 2001 in the region of Basel and Geneva for what was then already called Easy Ride, which was a card-based be-in, be-out system. So you could just enter the train or whatever means of public transport, get out of it again, and it would automatically be you would automatically be charged. And this project was technically a success, and the hopes were high, right? This GEA convenience for everyone was really very popular as an idea, and it was groundbreaking for the time being. Mind you, the tickets at the time were still sold largely like this, right? This is a slightly older picture, but it was basically railways were sold on ticket counters at the time. And the sort of tech answer at the time was this. In the news report before, you've seen it as well. He called it l'automate à billets de grand-papa, grandpa's ticket vending machine. That was really the last cry of technology, if you will. The problem was that the admittedly high estimated cost of 600 million of investment for the whole of Switzerland, plus an implementation time of about 10 years, the sector didn't find a way to really finance that. So the topic was put to rest in Switzerland for a while, until Knut Ringa took it up again, right? In Dresden. We're going to get back to that later in the day. That is the Alpha project in 2005, was it? Where this same or similar technology based on cards was used. But also that had an end, and then we'll get back to why this didn't take off either. Now back to us and to me personally. I had joined SBB in 2002, and soon was their head of distribution and services, so responsible for everything around ticketing, counter personnel, ticket vending machines, and so on. And from that period, we have this interesting picture here. Here you see a slightly younger version of this guy here, more than 10 years ago. It was 2011. And what I'm handing to this lady here is a voucher of 1,000 francs, because this person had bought the 1 millionth ticket on SBB Mobile. 1 million. You've seen the numbers before. We would have to hand out vouchers like this every 3 days. Wouldn't be a good business model. But anyway, we gave that to this lady. Fun fact on the side, she had to go to the counter to use it, but that's another story. We then took up this card-based B&B out system as an idea again, because honestly, at the time, I did not believe in mobile. It's almost embarrassing, or it is embarrassing, really, that I didn't at the time, and still thought this has to be solved with cards. Mobile is not going to be able to do that. Again, we came out with a cost estimate that wasn't quite as high as 10 years before, but it was still going to be 300 million in 10 years. And again, the project was put to rest. Now, I also had the need for a rest, so I left SBB and founded my own little consulting shop. Then a few months later, Jonas had joined, and we started rethinking the whole thing, because this sort of GEA convenience for everyone, wouldn't leave our minds, right? And we sort of turned it around and said, okay, 300 million, 10 years, it's just not good enough, right? Too expensive, takes too much time. So the question we asked ourselves is, how close to this ideal of the GEA convenience for everyone could we get to in less than 1 year with less than 1 million? That was how we started thinking. And then you had sort of a few elements that were kind of obvious. Well, probably mobile, because hardware was killing the old project, really killing it. So no hardware, using mobile, and then going step by step. That were basically the ground rules we set ourselves, and that's when this slide saw the light of day. For the first time. Many of you have seen it. We use it quite a lot. It was done in this version, the 6th of March 2014. It's really the unchanged original slide. So what it describes is, okay, we cut the elephant in 5 steps. We start with a first step, which was just check in. For us, it meant being able to buy a zone-based ticket in a few clicks, rather than the roughly 15 that were necessary at the time in the SBB mobile solution of 2014. Then next step, check in, check out, where at least the user wouldn't have to know the tariff system, could just do something at the beginning, do something at the end. Then check-in assisted checkout with the addition of this checkout warning that the lady mentioned in the news report as well. To check-in be-out, where you would automate the checkout. And finally to be-in be-out, so the good old GA convenience for everyone. Now there's an interesting little side note here. If you look, we had the urge to put this little asterisk here. That's that read aus heutiger Sicht neues Trägermedium Klammer Karte notwendig. So in today's view, so the view of 2014, of course, and a separate carrier media would be necessary. We didn't trust the mobile thing, still not at the time. But at least we had the caution of saying aus heutiger Sicht, so in today's view, rather than assuming that this would last forever, because now clearly it does no longer hold and we would remove that. But in all honesty, we had to put it. So we started with this version here. That was one of the very early versions of FAIRTIQ. Some called it the Christmas tree design because, for obvious reasons, quite a lot of green and quite a lot of red. We have then sort of started marketing it with one nice little promo video that I'm happy to show you here.
Macht's schon. Sie auch. Sowieso. Und sie macht's ganz neu. Einsteigen, aussteigen, fertig. Und schon reist zum fairsten Tarif von der Schweiz. Jetzt zum Downloaden.
That was Swiss German, by the way. I think it's the only occasion where we use Swiss German today on stage. But anyway, that was the way we tried to bring it across. It was also then very early on in that period where we started thinking beyond Switzerland and defined our company vision together as the entire team of the time. I think we were about 12 by then. That we wanted to become or sort of have the ambition of being the simplest way to everyday mobility for everyone, everywhere. And that still inspires us that, this simplicity that Loredana mentioned at the beginning could be available to ever more people and that we could be wherever we are in the world and use that sort of simplicity and technology. Well, the UI evolved somewhat, a little bit less colorful by now. We invested a lot in enhancing the journey mapping mechanisms behind it. I don't know, it's about the third or fourth fundamental change that we've done there. We have introduced fraud management processes behind the scenes. There's a lot of marketing possibilities that, some of which we'll see today. Now, we started actually with step 3 of the five-step approach. So this check-in assisted checkout version. And 5 years after the launch, we finally managed the 4th step, which is the check-in be-out with the technology we call Smart Stop that takes away the need to do the checkout and does that automatically for the users. Soon after that, we brought the long-awaited companion mode, where you could add additional people, dogs, and bikes, and still do that with the same one swipe. Then, just a few weeks ago, actually, we came with something that wasn't in the initial vision, and that is timetable, right? So, FAIRTIQ is entering the timetable space. For quite a few reasons. One is that I think we can do this also smarter than today's solutions. For now, it's just the basis, so just a basic timetable. What we plan to build on it is elements that are much smarter, that are trying to guess where you want to go. So a simple example, when you are at the station, that it just shows the bus lines that are of interest to you rather than everyone's bus line. We'll get back to that. The other element that entered our vision without it having been planned came about from our Danish friends. They inspired us to think beyond what we had thought about in the beginning, and that was, in Denmark we have the first time something that is really a strategy that goes mobile first. We get to that. And in Denmark today, we are already that majority channel, less than 2 years after the launch. So the majority of people travel with the app. But then you're facing the problem, well, what do you do with the people that do not own a mobile phone or do not want to use it for that purpose? And obviously, these people need a solution as well. In other deployments, we always have ticket vending machines, and we're just a sort of an extra channel. Here, this is the main channel, so we need a solution. And that's why, inspired and pushed, actually, I would even say, by Reisecourt, we added this tap-in, tap-out possibility with the basis court, it is called, that caters for everyone who doesn't have a mobile phone, so children and people who want to travel fully anonymously and so on. So we'll hear more about that as well. And then, of course, this final step of the 5-step approach is still pending. So as many of you know, we have a market test running at this very moment. And we are confident to be able to launch that fully, at least in Switzerland, by the end of this year. So it's going to be an interesting period for all of us. Now, one question that I often get and that I wanted to quickly elaborate on is, why has this worked out so far? Because, well, there's lots of things that could have gone wrong, and I sort of try to reflect a little bit what it is really. And there's lots of elements. First and foremost, maybe simply luck. You need a lot of luck that it really works out that way, and then a lot of cool people around. This focus on the end users that is really crucial to get there. Maybe together with you, we need to be a little bit naughty towards others in the sector. I don't think it would have worked without that. But the absolute key of it working is really you. Because without you and this close collaboration and your support, your enthusiasm for what we're about to do or what we're doing, this would never have worked. And also going forward, I'm convinced it is with you that we will be able to stay or become even more that simplest way to everyday mobility for everyone, everywhere. And in that sense, thank you for being the partners you are. Thank you for being here today.